Hello friend and welcome to another episode of the Arctic Diaries and living in the Arctic area. If you have been following along, you might notice I have been making some shifts here, making room for something new and just starting fresh to find a more me-style and far more sustainable direction for this channel. So just hop on board on this sledge. I welcome you to join this journey through slower paced living and Arctic adventures. Please consider subscribing as I would love to have you here. We search for a good life and deeper nature connection in the midst of all the harsh and strange 8 Arctic seasons, as well as embrace meaningful life and just a bit calmer everyday life. We drink tea at scenic spots and just wander around. Inner peace, that would be great too. Anyway, we have reached the season of snow. It has been very cold, up to -20°C, like in the footage you are glancing at right now. But what beautiful days such coldness brings. When filming this, there wasn't too much snow yet, but by the end of this video there will be a lot of snow. Just lots of snow. As you can see, everything is absolutely frozen. It is just so beautiful. The sun is at such low angle, even though it's actually midday. Not sure you can actually believe it, but it is true. This is the winter in the Arctic area. We have up to 8 different seasons here in Lapland, in the Nordics, Northern Europe if you are already completely lost, and no, it is not the North Pole but the Arctic Circle. Quite a common misconception. Okay, so the winter begins by reaching the season called first snow, and then the next season, Christmas polar night, or Kaamos as we call it in Finnish, began. The sun does rise for a short few minutes above the horizon still, but the day is very, very short, up to 3 hours of daylight. We did manage to have a little picnic here on the top of this fell. Might I remind you, it is -20°C, so we really had to take cover from the wind. If the wind blows at 5 meters per second and it is this cold, the air feels like -30°. If it's -25 and wind blows 20 meters per second, the wind chill is more than -40°C. We packed warm food into a thermos and ate it sheltered by this magnificent fell pine. Its crown has snapped under the weight of snow like many trees here, and it will never grow taller. In this weather, the gear makes moving heavy and walking truly feels like being a moonwalker, as my husband kindly demonstrates for all of us. But seriously, this is how moving here feels. The coldness is difficult for breathing system, and we are wearing so much gear that it is pretty heavy to move. You need to wear enough to stay safe, but not too much so you are able to move. Maybe I should do a video of the gear if you are interested. This place looks what I imagine moon would look like, so I think the astronaut feeling is just right. Just moonwalking around. I find it super interesting to visit the same places in nature during different seasons. You just seem to learn so much seeing places at different times of the year. In the winter, it's pretty silent as most birds leave us and travel far south. You can only hear the frosty-bitten moss beneath your shoe, and your own breath maybe, and the rustle of winter clothes. This forest feels like a fairy tale or a dream. Well, a rather cold dream, but dreamlike in its beauty. Incredible, even otherworldly. Places, weather, and days like these surely can never become routine or tiresome. At least that's how it feels here. The weather here is always different. No 2 days are ever the same. The sun really does set already at 1 o'clock, so it isn't quite evening yet. Winters here are very unusual, but the darkness doesn't trouble me at all. Thanks to that, we get days that are beautiful, though short when measured in daylight. We have been getting so much snow. Untypically, it has also rained a few days. I mean, rain on top of snow isn't really beautiful to watch, but we are so lucky to live in this area where there is no such thing as a fully rainy winter. At least not yet. I remember my childhood winters living 1,000 kilometers south from here, and they honestly used to be as snowy as these ones, at least almost. I did check this one on the internet, and statistics show that winters are getting shorter. Snow arrives later and leaves earlier in the spring, and there is more rain during the winter. And more Black Christmases, which is a Christmas without snow. This is just heartbreaking to understand that this change has happened not only in one lifetime but in a few decades. I was 10 years old, nearly 30 years ago. I can't really take this winter wonderland as an self-evident, foregone conclusion. We get absolutely childlike here, and I love it. The first real snow is so magical each year. Next, we are going to visit this small town we live in. I had no idea I shot this one in cinematic mode, so this will be the most cinematic view you will ever take a look at this place. This is the official Christmas town on Earth. I mean, there is Santa's office in the middle of this town. He is there every day from, I believe, October until April. Maybe it is a bit of a tourist trap I haven't really visited. You can probably see that there is a lot of snow even in the city center. The streets are cleared every night and when needed several times a day, so the snow is driven away. These mounds are the result. Snow removal here is remarkably efficient. Most of the time the roads lie almost bare of snow. Although this place is quite a tourist trap with huge numbers of people flying in during Christmas season, it is not a particularly beautiful city, unfortunately. Perhaps that is why I focus on these Christmas trees. There are hundreds of them at least. The entire city was burned at the end of the Second World War when the Germans retreated from Finland. At that time, Finland was an ally of Germany, and the alliance did not end happily. The troops practically burned down 100,000 square kilometers. Every house and village was leveled. In practice, that is the size of the entire Iceland. A beautiful element here is the river which circles the town city center and is within short reach from almost every part of the settlement. We too have had the joy of living along this river. It's just so beautiful. This stretch never freezes even at minus 20 degrees in the middle of the winter because the current is so strong. I hope you enjoyed this little city tour. Now we're off to fetch a Christmas tree. Here you can take a tree from the state forest by buying a wilderness permit, which costs 10 euros. You also need to check the right area on the map. In practice, they are very easy to find since most of the land is forest and this town lies in the midst of a vast wood stretching hundreds of kilometers in every direction. Of course, there are roads cutting through, but settlement in the north is sparse. Only about 200,000 people live here, and most of them in larger urban areas. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, we also have 200,000 reindeer here. So there's a little fact for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful December, and please consider joining me next time if the Arctic life is for you, as I post on slow rhythm throughout the Arctic seasons. Bye!